Hey guys, today we're driving the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness, and as I like to affectionately call it, Subaru's smallest hiking boot. This is the third entry into the Wilderness lineup. We have the Outback, the Forester, and now finally the Crosstrek, which I feel like they should have done a long time ago because this almost makes the most sense. It's got good ground clearance, it's a small package, it can fit in tight places off-road, it has pretty good approach, departure, and breakover angles. 9.3 inches of ground clearance from this Crosstrek Wilderness, which is quite good. We have the same Yokohama Geolandar AT tires here. These are the Go15s, which is a really nice all-terrain for street use and off-road. It does very well in the mud and pretty decently in the snow as well. Lots of plastic cladding. We see the same wilderness treatment here with this Crosstrek as we've seen in the other Outback and Forester models. We get the 2.5 liter Boxer 4-cylinder motor that makes 182 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque, and a continuously variable transmission that has a slightly shorter final drive ratio, giving this a little bit more pep off the line and a bit better gearing for off-road driving. Lots of gold accents on the roof rails, reinforced up here too for a rooftop tent. This can tow up to 3,500 pounds. Not sure I'd really want to in a car that weighs 3,400 pounds, but that's only if you get it equipped with the tow hitch, which this particular Crosstrek does not have. We get really nice rugged rubber trunk mats and floor mats inside. That's standard on the Crosstrek Wilderness and with a lot of the other Wilderness trims. Really useful. We put those to use this week. Spent quite a bit of time in this Crosstrek Wilderness. Let's hop inside, we'll start it up, we'll talk about what it's been like to live with this week, and then we'll take it for a drive. We actually had this off-road earlier today out at Hollyoaks, and it was just so much fun and surprisingly capable. It did a lot of the trails out there. Had some issues with approach angle, not the best approach angle here, but everything else, the traction control system, the tires, the size of this thing, it all just performed wonderfully, and it was actually pretty fun to drive. So we basically get the same Crosstrek interior that we've seen in the other 2024 models, but with some different seats. We have Subaru's StarTex leather here that's water resistant and looks kind of rubbery, leathery. It's an interesting material. Feels like it'll last a long time. I kind of like it with the contrast stitching. You can see that floor mat down there being put to good use. And overall, just a pretty simple interior. Familiar steering wheel controls that we've seen in a lot of other Subaru models. The vertically integrated infotainment here, that looking very familiar. Still a little bit slow, still a bit laggy, but it works. At least I think Subaru's fixed the CarPlay connectivity issues that I've seen in previous models with some updates, so that's good. Wouldn't mind just faster screen response here, but it gets the job done. There are tons of settings in this infotainment to choose, different car modes. You've got a few different drive modes here. Deep snow and mud, normal, snow and dirt. And deep snow and mud will actually turn off traction control and give you a little bit more, or at least a little bit less intervention from the stability control system. Snow and dirt gives you a bit more intervention to keep wheels that don't have as much grip from slipping and spinning, and that's good for like rock crawling, stuff like that. Most of the time though, on your way to get coffee, you're just going to be driving in normal mode, and you can choose between S and I throttle mapping. S, of course, is going to be a little bit sharper, a little bit sportier, and I more linear and intelligent, which is nice. I would love to get some physical controls for our climate control, but it seems like this is what Subaru has committed to. You do have physical temperature controls and buttons for your rear defrost and front defrost. I guess that's nice, but for everything else, it would be nice to have a knob or a dial, something chunky that you can grab onto and use while you're wearing gloves. Parking brakes down here. Heated seats are down here, which will absolutely melt your bottom off. They are very nice and toasty. We've got wireless charging. No real place to secure your phone. It's just kind of a grippy rubber material. My phone's been moving around on that all week. Good amount of storage there in the center console. 12 volt, 120 watt outlet there, and lots of steering wheel controls here. Subaru EyeSight works quite well these days. That's nice to see. Before it gets too dark, let's show you around the rest of this car. Back seat, quite spacious. Seats fold down pretty much flat, giving you quite a bit of space in this. Ingress is easy. A couple USB ports back here too. I'm 5'10". This front seat is set to my driving position. I have plenty of headroom. Quite comfortable back here, actually. Opening up the hatch. This is nice and light. No full-size spare though, unfortunately. Just a compact spare, but at least you get something. It's a funky looking little thing. It looks kind of ridiculous all lifted up and raised off the ground, but I feel like this is just kind of the perfect Crosstrek. Pricing on this one is around 35 grand, and that's just a really nice price point for something like this. And it just looks cool, and it's a really nice car to live with on a daily basis. It's comfortable, it's reasonably economical. 25 miles to the gallon in the city, 29 on the highway. I feel like 5-10 years ago, something like this would have gotten low to mid 20s. And instead, we're kind of in the upper 20s, which is great. There's your reverse camera. Nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done. Let's take this for a drive. See how it does on the road. Got a bit of snow on the ground today, which isn't a bad thing. We have the most awesome turning circle here. It is just so maneuverable, so small. These Geolander Geo 15 tires actually do pretty well in the snow. They're not dedicated winter tires, but they get the job done. Kind of a slushy mix out today. The short wheelbase from this Crosstrek makes it feel really nimble, really light on its feet. And because of that shorter final drive, this actually feels pretty willing to accelerate. It doesn't have a ton of outright power. Actually, it's still pretty slow, but you don't feel like you need to rev the nuts off of this thing to get around town or up to speed on the highway in normal driving situations. There's full throttle. Again, just not a lot of power here. We're gonna gingerly take it around this entrance ramp. Pretty good levels of mechanical grip. I mean, it doesn't really feel that different from the regular Crosstrek with these all-terrains. And honestly, it doesn't feel that much more sluggish or leery than the Subaru Impreza RS that we drove earlier this year. It handles well. It's pretty quiet too, a little bit quieter than the previous generation of Crosstrek. I know Subaru did a lot of work to this 2024 Crosstrek to improve NVH levels, noise, vibration, and harshness, and it's really paid off. This is a quieter, more comfortable cabin. These seats are quite good too, comfortable on longer trips. Good driving position. I can see nice and high, kind of over and around other vehicles. And the driving assistance tech here is well done too. EyeSight is finally a really good system to live with. You can easily turn on and off steering assist. All physical controls right there. That's how it should be. Pretty good visibility here too. Nice sight lines. See straight down over the hood. This doesn't have forward-facing cameras or anything like that, but even off-road earlier today, I felt like I had pretty good sight of what I was doing and my corners and my extremities here. We do have auto stop start. It's not the best system with a Boxer 4-cylinder. You can easily turn that off with a constant icon on the screen. Get some fake shifts there from the CVT. Yeah, there is really a lot to like here. I have very much enjoyed my time in this Crosstrek this week. This is actually a car that I would consider getting if I needed a daily that I could take off-road occasionally, have a little bit of fun with, and kind of do my A to B efficiently and practically. A little bit icy on that on-ramp. It's just an easy car to drive, easy car to live with. I have minimal complaints about the usability, the user interface, the ergonomics in here. I think it looks cool. And it's affordably priced, and just, I think there's a bit of a cool factor here too. All the gold trim is a little bit much inside and out, but I could kind of get over that. Doing a bit of a night drive here too, and we've got a nice adjustment here for all of our gauges. Love to see that. Could do with some LED interior lights, but that's pretty easy to swap out. We even get a sunroof. Put us into manual mode. See what that does. Pretty good levels of deceleration here. And it does its best impression of an automatic transmission with the paddles. Honestly, this doesn't really give up much, if anything, compared to the regular Crosstrek in terms of driving dynamics. It's super comfortable, it handles great. You feel like you're a little bit taller, but it doesn't really hurt much. It's fun. It is a comfortable hiking shoe. Would I love to have a manual transmission or a torque converter automatic? Yes, absolutely. But for what you're getting, this actually drives really, really well for being a Subaru CVT. It's quick off the line. I don't feel like it's too underpowered like it did with the 2-liter Crosstrek sometimes when merging onto the highway, making passes. If you're driving like a normal person, this is going to be perfectly fine. But I feel like something like this would be the perfect car for someone who lives in the snow belt or up in the mountains like Colorado. Because you can take it out to the trails over the weekend, have some fun, go places where you wouldn't be able to go in other vehicles, get decent fuel economy while doing it. And you've almost got the same ground clearance as you do in a 4Runner in this thing. Granted, you don't have the same gearbox and a 4-wheel drive system, but the traction control here works so well that it'll get you down a lot of trails with relative ease without too much drama. Before we wrap up this video, let's do a quick sound system test with this Harman Kardon. Decent sound system, actually. For the money, I feel like this is okay. We've you've got a volume and tune knob here right next to the screen. Pretty good. Okay. All right, guys, it's going to be a wrap on the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness. My favorite Crosstrek that I've driven to date. I've actually been really excited to get behind the wheel of this ever since it was announced. I feel like this just kind of hits the mark in price point, cool factor, fun factor, usability, and just like takes that Crosstrek philosophy to the max. The biggest complaint that I would normally have with this car is the infotainment and the screen, but Subaru's done some updates to make this a little bit more reliable of a system, and I think that kind of gives it a bit more of a pass than usual. So I'm okay with this now. I could live with it. I don't love it. I would definitely prefer something different and more up to date, or at least faster with more physical knobs and dials, but living with it this week, it was fine. It all worked. It's not a deal breaker by any means. And the rest of this car is so enjoyable that I think this is a pretty easily recommendable option in the space. So if you guys are shopping for something in this segment, I would highly recommend the Crosstrek Wilderness. It kind of outshines a lot of its competitors in terms of ground clearance and off-road credentials, and for the price, it's kind of hard to beat. So yeah, I would actually consider one of these someday if I needed a vehicle like this. You've got room in the back for the kids, fold down the seats, throw bikes and stuff in there, put a rooftop tent on top. The hitch, if you get one, has a nice strong rating for heavy bike racks, e-bikes, stuff like that. You can maybe tow a little camper or a little trailer behind too, though I'm not sure how that would do long term with the CVT, but it's a very usable little car, and if something this size works for your lifestyle, it's really nice because it's just so small and it fits everywhere. It fits in the city, fits down trails, fits in your garage easily. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do some more on one of these cars in the future, maybe in the dry without as much snow. But until then, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.